Hey guys, Chris here again for RoofWebs.com. In this tutorial, we're going to learn what module positions are and how to edit those. Again, we're working on our Bronze series website. Yours may look a little different, but the idea is the same across all of the sites that we offer. Now, if you have the classic template, which looks just like this one, there may be some slight variations in yours. But it's very, very similar to the classic template that we have. If you scroll down to the welcome to our site box or something that looks very similar to this at the bottom of the very first page, and then also the free estimates box, each one of these are called modules, and they are independent of one another, and you can actually place them on different pages. So regardless of what the actual main content of that page is, these module boxes that run along the sides are in positions that are completely separate from the content that you're editing under the article manager. Now, each one of those can be edited to be basically anything that you want. And let's say, for example, you want to edit the text in this welcome to our site box. We'll start there. And then we'll move on to the free estimates box so that you can edit your phone number and contact information down at the bottom of the page. Now, very simply, we're going to go to the back end and start here. And we'll use the demo user account and log into the back end. Now, just like where you had in the previous videos where we were working in the article manager, this time we're going to be working in the module manager. Now, there are going to be many of these modules that are written in HTML code. And I don't recommend for a second actually that you go through and just open all of them and see what they all do. Some of them will break when you open them if you don't open them properly. That's an advanced user thing, and I just don't recommend it. So we've got a list here of all of the different modules, except that we also have a number of pages. There are 6 more pages. So this one has well over 100 modules in this website. So we're going to click on Display All at the bottom of the page. You can choose how many of them you want to display. We'll display all of them, and in this case, the module that we're looking for just happens to be the very last one, Welcome to our site. Now, that module is only listed on the very first page, and it is listed in the main bottom A position. Here is the positioning for it. I don't recommend you change that, otherwise it'll show up somewhere else. And that's basically how you get to the content that's in that box, or in the box on the front page. Just like in the article tutorials, you can go in and change the content, you can place photos. I don't recommend that you place a ton of photos there because the front page of your website, you don't want it to get too large because that's the very first page that anyone's going to load, and you don't want that to slow down. Down at the bottom of the page, you have a menu assignment where you can assign it, that one module, in exactly the same position of main bottom A to any of the pages within your website. Okay, you probably don't see that many pages in your site, but if you do, just be aware that if you click on any of those down here, you're assigning it to a different page, and it doesn't necessarily need to go on any other page except for the first one. So that's how you would go in and edit that. And then, of course, to save that module position, you would click Save or Save and Close. If you were to make a mistake in that box and it seems easier to start over, then you would go up and click the Close button, which would take you back to the module manager and allow you to reopen that module without any changes having been made. So the other one that we're going to look at, and if you look here, it says Welcome to our site. That's the name of the module. Now you'll also notice that some of the modules don't have the names actually shown there because it doesn't make sense to put those to put the name at the top of it. Now that one does, and if you scroll down to the bottom one, the free estimates box, we'll go back to the back end. Now you'll notice that I've placed all of these in alphabetical order, and you can do that by clicking the title button, and it'll switch those around and actually change to where they're backward now. So we'll switch that back, and again we'll go back and look, and we've got our free estimates box. That's the next one. We scroll down to the F's, and free estimates is right here. Now you'll notice that's in the footer C box, and here's where you would change that information. I recommend that when you're changing this, do not change the size of the text. Just simply, and don't grab it and delete it this way. You need to leave the formatting the same. So what we do is we go in and we tap right behind it, and we delete what we need to delete and nothing more than that, so that it saves the formatting. My company name, and it stays the same. Now, if you see that it changes that formatting, then what you may want to do is go ahead and click the close button so that you don't save it that way. Open it back up and try it again. Now, if your company name is 15 words long, then it's going to wrap. Once it's on the front page, you'll notice that it's actually a very narrow area that's defined for that module. You don't have a lot of room to do it. So the My Company name and the other 12 words are going to start to wrap under it, and it's going to look a little off. So if it does that, play around with it. You can actually take this, and I've done this in the past, click on that once and remove it, and it gives you just a little bit more space to put your 15 word company name or whatever it happens to be there. You'll want to be careful with the amount of information you actually place in this box. I know it's very tempting to put your hours and put all those things, and just keep in mind that these are designed so they don't take up an enormous amount of space, because these are going to be about the same size roughly, and they're going to stay that way. And if you've got this one and it runs down, half again down the page, it's going to look off and it won't be clean like it is now. So again, I'm not going to change anything in that. I don't want to save it without my little graphic there. So we're just going to click close. Normally you would save and close, or click save. There are a couple of the modules that I don't recommend that you open at all, one of which is this Facebook module. This is very heavily coded in HTML. If you open that one, it will break. I can guarantee you it will break. There is a technique to open that one. Typically you don't need to make changes to it, but I recommend that if you do need to make changes to the Facebook box, you absolutely give us a call. Let us handle that for you, or at least walk you through that process. Also on this, you'll see that this residential roofing and this roof repairs box, these are actually module positions as well. These are, I wouldn't edit these either. Because of the way they're designed, with this graphic that is so cleanly placed in that corner, and then it has the spacing for keeping these where they are, and the more information button there. I don't recommend that you edit those either. Again, get in touch with us. The front page of the site, and this doesn't hold true for all of them, but the front page of the site is very detail oriented as far as how it's laid out. The Why Call box up here at the top is actually an article position. This is the main article, and it's the one that's featured. This one, again, you can see is very heavily coded so that things fall where they're supposed to, and they land where they should. I don't recommend that you edit those either. Now, in our next video, we are going to tackle the Contact Us page and how to change your contact information, change the email address that your contact form goes to, and that sort of thing. If you have any questions on this one, certainly give us a call or send us an email at sales@roofwebs.com, and we'll see you in the next video.